next, there will be a presentation of Team One Piece with the title Suggestions on Amendments to the SUA Convention and MSC Guidelines for Addressing New Crimes Committed Using Drones. Everyone, please welcome Team One Piece.
I heard that pirates are committing a lot of new crimes using drones these days.
Really? Then what we have to do to protect peace at sea?
Then, how about proposing a legal amendment on the new maritime crimes involving drones at the mock-IMO assembly?
Our team's goal is to create a peaceful ocean by countering threats at sea.
We move forward with one vision of peace.
We are One Piece.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are Team One Piece and we will be presenting on the theme Suggestion and Amendment to the SUA Convention and MSC Guidelines for Addressing New Crimes Committed Using Drones. Our presentation will unfold in 4 stages. The table of contents and details are as described on the presentation page. Let's begin with the background. On June 12, 2023, the Houthi rebel group attacked the Greek cargo ship Tudor using a waterbombing USB. According to the UK MTO, the USB and subsequent missile attack crashed and exploded at the rear of the Tudor, damaging its hull and engine compartment. The frequency of such terrorist acts using drone is rising across all domains, land, sea, and air. This is evident from the data on Houthi rebel attacks in the Red Sea. Analysis of the GTD from the START Institute reveals that out of 315 drone-related terrorist incidents, the number of attacks has been increasing yearly since 2018. Among the drone terrorist organizations, the Houthi rebels, who focus heavily on maritime terrorism, have carried out 211 incidents. Furthermore, on Table 2, we can see that crimes in the sea using Houthi rebels' maritime drones are increasing again since 2023. This highlights the significant threat drone terrorism poses to maritime safety. Next, we present a graph illustrating the growth of drone market over the years. The drone market is anticipated to expand significantly both in Korea and globally. As commercialization increases, so will potential misuse and abuse affecting maritime industries. Our team proposes developing a 2024 amendment to address this emerging threat and enhance maritime security. Following this, my colleague will briefly explain key concepts to help you understand maritime drone terrorism.
According to the Federal Aviation Administration of the United States, a drone is defined as an aircraft that can fly via remote control or autonomous control and does not carry passengers or crew. In other words, it is controlled by a controller or moves according to pre-programmed instructions, and it does not have people on board. Unmanned vehicle can be categorized into 4 types based on their intended use: UAV, UGV, USV, and UUV. Among these, drones used in maritime crimes are unmanned underground vehicle, surface vehicle, and aerial vehicle. Houthi operations targeting international shipping in the Red Sea and surrounding waterways have heavily relied on drones. According to ACLED records, more than 40% of incidents between October 2023 and June 2024 involved drones. There are several reasons why the use of drones in maritime crime is increasing. First of all, it has recently been possible to make many drones at a low price. It can cause direct damage to a ship by carrying a large amount of explosives, but it can also be used as a way to disrupt navigation without causing damage. And it can make expensive equipment be used to disable relatively inexpensive drones. And even with high-tech equipment, it is often not easy to detect. Therefore, we have decided to propose amendment to the 3 documents shown in the screen to reflect the latest trend in maritime illegal activities. These documents are SUA Convention, MSC.1 Circular 1334, and the ISPS code. Let me now propose some solutions to the issues previously discussed. The SUA Convention is an international treaty adopted in 1988 to suppress unlawful acts such as piracy and terrorism at sea. The SOA Convention has not undergone a substantial revision since 2005, meaning it lacks provisions to address modern maritime crimes and technological advancements such as piracy using drones. By including provisions related to drone terrorism in the SOA Convention, we aim to strengthen the legal response to maritime terrorism and establish a clear international framework for joint action. This, we believe, will help deter drone terrorism and minimize potential damage. To this end, we have proposed adding clause to Article 2 and 3 of the SOA Convention. I will begin by explaining the clause added to Article 2. Article 2 of the SOA Convention outlines the scope. To restrict the use of drones under the SOA Convention, we propose an exclusion for unmanned equipment controlled by radio waves when used for following purposes. First, industrial, agricultural, research, transportation, or other peaceful purposes. Next, for protection or for military purposes related to the defense of respective jurisdiction, as well as for law enforcement purposes in accordance with domestic law. Additionally, we have specified that nothing in this convention shall affect the rights, obligations, and responsibilities under the International Civil Aviation Convention signed in Chicago in 1944. Article 3 of the SOA Convention outlines unlawful acts that threatens the safety ship at the sea. We have added the following provision to Article 3. First, the use of UAVs to drop bombs, fire weapons, collide with, or disperse hazardous material onto ships or crew, conduct cyber attacks on a ship's main network, or surveil the ship's critical facilities would constitute a violation of this convention. Second, the use of USVs carrying explosives to threaten a ship, destroy it, or cause severe damage to it would also be a violation to this convention. Third, if UUVs as well as other vessels pose a potential threat to ships, it would violate this convention. The amendment to the remaining two documents will be explained by my reliable colleague.
Next, we will explain the provisions we added to MSC.1 Circular 134. It is a document issued by the IMO that serves as an important standard, providing specific guidance on maritime terrorism and security threats. This guidance aims to strengthen security measures for ships and port facilities and focus on addressing traditional threats from pirates and terrorists to ensure the physical security of ships and the safety of crew members. However, it does not include response measures for rapidly advancing drone technology, making it challenging to address threats from pirates and terrorist organizations with existing security measures alone. So we have added the following provisions to strengthen the international maritime security framework. Due to the large volume of additional content, I will provide a summarized presentation. First, threat analysis and assessment system. We recommend establishing a system to analyze and assess drone threats to vessels and maritime facilities. Second, drone countermeasures and neutralization technologies. We suggest implementing electronic countermeasures to disrupt drone control signals alongside physical neutralization methods such as missiles and net launchers. Third, emergency response procedures and cybersecurity. We propose developing immediate response procedures for drone attacks to activate countermeasure system effectively. Finally, training, education, and collaboration. We recommend conducting training simulations to prepare crew members to respond effectively to drone threats and enhancing cooperation among agencies for swift joint responses. Next, I will discuss the ISPS code. It is a regulatory framework adopted by the IMO to enhance the security of ships and port facilities and to prevent international maritime terrorism and illegal acts. Implemented since 2004, this regulation establishes procedures and responsibilities for assessing and minimizing security risks. However, the current ISPS code also lacks guidance on responding to advanced unmanned equipment, making it challenging to effectively address new security threats. Therefore, we have added procedures for preventing and responding to drone terrorism to strengthen this framework. Part A of the ISPS code consists of mandatory provisions that specify the legal requirements that all contracting parties must comply with. We have added a provision in Article 8 addressing the identification of new technological threats such as unmanned maritime drones used for illegal or terrorist activities. And in Article 9, we have included provisions for procedures to detect and mitigate unmanned aerial and maritime drones. Next, Part B of the ISPS code consists of recommendations that provide guidance and suggestions to assist in implementing the provisions of Part A. We have added 2 points of Article 9 of Part B. First, security measures related to drone terrorism should include prevention of unauthorized access, protection of onboard personnel, and prevention of tampering with cargo. Second, this plan includes measures for the prevention, detection, and response to technological threats such as maritime drone terrorism. ISPS Code Part B divides security levels into 3 categories and specifies the response measures that vessels and ports must take according to each level. Accordingly, we have added response measures to be taken in the event of a maritime drone attack based on the security level. At Security Level 1, basic training on related threats, operation of basic surveillance systems, and the establishment of initial response procedures for emergencies are required. At Security Level 2, additional security measures applicable to drone terrorism should be established, including the operation of maritime drone detection systems, the creation of information sharing systems with relevant authorities, regular training, and the establishment of emergency communication networks. Finally, at Security Level 3, advanced detection and neutralization technologies for maritime drones should be deployed, an emergency training should be conducted, and an integrated response plan should be developed in collaboration with relevant agencies. Next, my wonderful colleague will continue and wrap up the presentation.
Our proposal should be addressed to the MSC of the IMO Assembly and is related to the subcommittee on NCSR. The process begins with a recommendation to national authorities, followed by submission to the MSC for review. Since crime at sea involving drones are directly related to vessel safety, this committee will discuss the matter first. Next, the NCSR will analyze the impact of drone-related maritime crimes on navigation, search, and communication while developing technical measures and response strategies. Subsequently, the proposal will be presented to the LEG to assess the legal validity and international legal basis of the drone-related amendment. Finally, once this committee have reviewed and approved the amendment, it will be submitted to the IMO Assembly and go through a vote. According to this recently announced strategic plan for the organization for the 6-year period 2024 to 2029, the proposed amendment addressing piracy involving drones falls under Strategic Direction 5, enhancing global facilitation, supply chain resilience, and security of international trade. This is because it states that threats such as piracy and armed robbery against ships could disrupt international trade, threaten lives, and increase the burden on maritime transport. Additionally, Performance Indicator 5.4 measured the number of reported piracy incidents by geographical area, which help assess the frequency of piracy and the IMO's effectiveness in reducing them. Piracy involving drones can be seen as a case where new technology has been introduced into existing piracy method, necessitating a reporting and response system for such incident. These guidelines are updated annually to reflect new trend in piracy and armed robbery incident. The MSC serves as the primary governing body for Output 5.4 with collaboration from the LEG. If the amendment is approved through these committees and the processes, the definition and response strategies regarding piracy involving drones will become clearer. This will enable national and maritime authorities to enforce the law more effectively and enhance vessel safety and ensure the security of maritime trade and logistics, ultimately contributing to the stability of the maritime economy. We have presented the current state of maritime drone terrorism and the proposed amendment to enhance maritime safety. As Bill Gates once said, technology advances can help humanity, but at the same time, they also provide new weapons to those with malicious intent. In this context, it is essential to establish agreement to address the threat posed by advancing drone technology. I hope our proposed amendment will help protect the future of maritime safety. This concludes our presentation, and thank you.
Thank you, One Piece, for the nice presentation. All right, there will be a Q&A session about this topic. I'd like to start with our judges first. Yes, please, Dr. Kang.
Yeah, thank you for a very interesting presentation. Yeah, I fully agree to your proposal, especially drone or other others have not to use threat our the safe navigation of vessel or endear the vessel. My question is that I'm not sure. So you mentioned that Ukraine and other battle, the drone has been used to attack to other vessel. In the case, such kinds of armed the drone is a warship or not. In case of if we regarded them as a warship, it's not the target of a SUA convention because it's a warship, not a commercial ship. Second question is that I'm not sure. I'm not exposed to such kinds of SUA convention, but in the convention, there is no specific regulation, especially to define any specific weapon, like a missile or like other robot. It's not necessary to define such kinds of the attacking the means. For example, it's okay to define not to attack or safe navigation or others. It is enough. So it's not necessary to specify such kinds of definition of a new item like a drone as you proposal. That's my question. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for your thoughtful question. And can we have some time to discuss about this question? Okay, our answer about the question. At the question number 1, you said the Ukrainian Houthi rebels incident is about the warship, attacking the warship, not the commercial ship. Then it is not related to the SUA convention. But I think when this drone terrorism is considered as the effective attack measure for internationally, so it will be not limited in the warship section, but it will be more intrude into the commercial ship. So I think it is not. We don't have to see it as the one-dimensional. Okay, and the second answer of the question is that at the SUA Convention Article 2, there is the definition of like BCM weapon or biological weapon. So it is the new emerging types of attacks, right? Then I think we have to define drone as the same way because it is also the emerging trend in the terrorism. So we have to define this for another convention to become the foundation of the convention. it can be the basis. So I think it is essential to be defined in the US SUA convention. Thank you.
Thank you. And Dr. Park.
Thank you for your presentations with regard to the terrorism by the drone. And so how to identify this drone can be attacked to the ship or other the good. And so the drone is very useful for the carrying of the food to the ship during the COVID-19 or monitoring of the oil, the spill, accident. How to identify to the terrorism intention or not? That is one question. A more simple question is, do you know to the Korea, the ratified to the SUA convention or not? Second question.
Okay. Can we have some time again? Sorry. Okay, thank you for your question, and I want to tell you about the answer of the first question. And you said, how can we separate the terrorist act and another purpose of drone attack? Now, I think there is the standard to define the drone terror. I think first one is the intention, like malicious intention, and second is the purpose of like attacking the Christian member, and third is the legal and political measure, legal and political motive. I think this is the very important part to define the drone terrorism. And for the last, when it has this social impact, and if the magnitude of the damage is relatively big, so I can tell that incident is the drone terrorism. And can you tell us once again the second question, please? Sorry.
Yes, so I understand it's very difficult to identify it. Who is monitoring this drone is what kind of the functional requirement, functional to the goods, depends on the size of depends on the function. Maybe anyway I don't have the experience. However, I don't see to the terrorism until now. Sure, of course, is the armed and for the war is different. Is the commercial drone and the armed force drone is maybe a difference. We need some standard for the monitoring or the equipment. So that my idea. I'm not sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I would like to listen to the terrorism, the attack of the drone. Thank you. Second question.
Okay, I want to ask some comment about that.
Yeah.
I think when the drone market is developing and growing bigger, then there will be such as we have to tell the national authorities and ask for some authorities to the national part about the using of drone as the commercially. But when it's not, it is defined as the drone that is used illegally. So I think we have to make some
I
framework for that.
I think it needed to do some more technical development to
Yes,
identify
yes.
in the future. Yeah.
Thank you for your question.
Thank you. Yes, please.
Thank you for your very interesting presentations. I fully agree with your idea to propose some necessity to amendment of some code, ISPS code and SWA convention. But I agree with the question or comment made by the Dr. Kang. he commented that there is no specific regulation to identify some specific weapons or attacks in the SWAT Convention. You know, the difference of the SWAT Convention and ISPS Code. The SWAT Convention aims to punish or extradite the criminals or terrorists to other countries who has some interest with the accident. For example, the people's or ship's nationality or something like that. So if a country arrests a terrorist who attacked the ships or hijacked the ships, the country should punish the criminals, terrorists, or the country should extradition to the other countries who has some interest with the criminals. So in the case of the ISPS code, need to be amended in the context of the drone, because drone is now very rapidly developing and used by unlawful actors also. But in the case of the SWAT Convention, this is a little bit different story and this different methods to approach. So do you have any ideas to change your proposal in terms of the SWAT Convention? For example, include biological weapons and drones or some etc. like this. How about it?
Thank you for your thoughtful comments. To be honest, I think we forgot to add very important article to mention about the purpose of SWAT Convention. And when we have a chance to discuss about it, we should make more provision to the SWAT Convention, especially mentioning about the punishment for the crime. Thank you.
Thank you so much. It's time to wrap it up. Thank you. One Piece, you may go down to your seat. Thank you so much.